Who's all here? Probably nobody yet. Let me turn this TV down. Oh, man. Yo. What's going on with everybody? How's everybody doing? Just tapping in real quick. Perspectives and Facts podcast live. Just going to tap in real quick. I've been traveling. I've been going back and forth cross country for a minute. Having a great time. I want to show you guys where I'm at really quick, so you can see I'm not held up. I'm not held hostage. Let me see if you can see. Yeah, we're in Vegas, so yeah, I'm not. FBJ hasn't been held hostage. We haven't been put up anywhere. We just been moving, shaking and popping and everything. So I want to do a quick stream. I want to talk about Super Bowl halftime performance. I want to talk about everybody getting pissed. Hopefully you guys can hear me, but I want to talk about people getting pissed about the fact they're having Super Bowl in New Orleans and Lil Wayne isn't the headlining the Super Bowl. I want to talk about how the Super Bowl hasn't been a regional artist. The Super Bowl halftime show hasn't traditionally been a regional artist platform. Matter of fact, why you keep calling me home? Exactly, okay, cool. So it hasn't been a regionally artist platform. Like when the Super Bowl was in Atlanta, yeah, Travis Scott brought out Big Boy, but they didn't have a Dungeon Family, Outkast, Lil Jon, a reunion. They didn't have that. They didn't have Jermaine Dupri come up there. You know what I'm trying to say? When the Super Bowl was in New York, they had Bruno Mars. This was like 2013 season, 2014. I think they had Bruno Mars perform, or Katy Perry. I don't remember them calling Dipset. I don't remember them calling the Locks. Jay-Z didn't even perform when they had Super Bowl in New York. Nobody said anything. When the Super Bowl was in Detroit, I want to say 2005, 2006 season, they got like Casey and I think the guy had Rolling Stones that year, right? They didn't call any Motown artists. They didn't call like Stevie Wonder. They didn't call the Jackson 5. They didn't call anybody that represented Detroit. Just like I just said about Atlanta. When they had it in Miami in 07, they had Prince. But Prince is from Minnesota. They had Super Bowl in Minnesota, I want to say, don't quote me on it, I want to say maybe between 91, between the, maybe it was the Bills. I want to say it was the Bills and Redskins Super Bowl that was in Minnesota. 1991, mind you, Prince didn't perform in 91. You see what I'm saying? They had Prince perform in Miami in 07. They didn't have Ross, they didn't have Gloria Estefan. Even when they just had it down there, they had like J-Lo and Shakira. J-Lo's from the Bronx, Shakira's from like South America. So I say that to say, just because Jay-Z gave you Dr. Dre and Snoop and Kendrick for the halftime performance a couple years ago doesn't equate to now there's some type of precedent set where we're going to have regional performers. Because like even with Usher, he performed here in Vegas at a residency. It was dope, but that was more because he was relevant in Vegas with that residency at the time, and there was no hotter person in Vegas or that could probably pull off that show. So that was, I think, was a great move, right? So now you take this to where we're going now, Louisiana. If this was Super Bowl in 2013, you would get Lil Wayne. If this was a Super Bowl at any other point that they had New Orleans, and when they did have it last time in 2013, Beyonce was the performer. They didn't call Lil Wayne. I didn't see everybody up in arms. Lil Wayne didn't get the call in 2013 when he was a way relevant, way hotter artist, younger. I didn't see nobody making complaints, especially because I think we were still coming out of that Janet Jackson debacle and Justin Timberlake, where right after that they kept giving us like I said, Casey and the Sunshine Band, the Bee Gees, Rolling Stones for a few years. It's like they had to punish niggas for like 3 years, so they brought Prince back. You know what I'm saying? So to say that, to say this, now we're gonna go to New Orleans. It's 2024, and they released the Apple Music. Now let's really talk about this. This isn't about what niggas want. One thing we gotta stop doing as black people is thinking, yes, we are the entertainment, we are the culture, but when we are presenting something on the highest form to the world, we have to understand some of our reasonable biases. Sometimes we are so part of the subculture, we don't understand the grand scheme of things. Salute the Carlton Way. Salute Carlton Way 1 in the building. Appreciate it. like you just said, Wayne has talked about his drug habits. He's talked about a lot of things that were probably used against him for this situation. It's Super Bowl, right? It's in New Orleans. Me personally, I would love if we had a cash money, no limit, goddamn Super Bowl halftime show. That would be great. I would thoroughly enjoy a no limit cash money reunion for the Super Bowl. But it's niggas up north in New York that don't give a damn about cash money or no limit. It's niggas on the West Coast who don't give a damn about cash money, no limit. Cash money, no limit, as much as us as a hip hop community reverence them, endorse them, praise them in the lineage that have sprouted from their trees to like the currencies and whatnot. This isn't about what we want. We're going to get what's palatable to the world. If I'm Apple Music and I just bought the halftime slot, right, and Jay-Z is somebody who's working with me, I'm going to put the most profitable person up on the Super Bowl. I'm going to put the person who's going to get me the most money. Is Lil Wayne going to get me the most money for the halftime show? I think between him and Kendrick, it's not that big of a gap. I think Lil Wayne is one of the most relevant faces to white consumers when it comes to hip-hop. I think if you have a top 5, you're going to have Snoop. I think Lil Wayne is probably second to, I think it might be Lil Wayne. If I have to do a big 3 of like the most recognizable faces alive, because if it's just dead, it's going to be Pac. But the most recognizable faces of living rappers is going to be Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, Lil Wayne. It's just what it is. But when you talk about a performer, we have people who have been showrunners for award shows that say we have booked Lil Wayne to perform, and he did not come to rehearsals. He was a professional. Lil Wayne has told you himself that he has to have a teleprompter at the bottom to read his lyrics off. Lil Wayne, a lot of his songs, like That's Why My Bitches Love Me, or a lot of his songs have very explicit, repetitive chants in it that will not be profitable to the biggest market in entertainment conglomerates in the world. This isn't the BET Awards. This isn't the Super Bowl hosted by BET. This isn't the Super Bowl hosted by the Shade Room. This is not the Super Bowl hosted by FBAs. This is a Super Bowl hosted by powerful white people, and they are not going to, they love Lil Wayne, but they understand grandma, auntie, they're going to be watching it. If I have to pick between Lil Wayne and Kendrick Lamar, honestly, if you want a safe person, it probably would be Kendrick Lamar. Even though he makes pro-black music, we know he's going to be professional. We know he is a performer, his stage presence. I've seen Kendrick Lamar in concert. It's a lot behind his artistry, which needs to be put on the forefront. It's not about regionally, it's not about what you like favorite. Lil Wayne's my favorite rapper of all time, but I don't want to see him in the Super Bowl halftime performance. Not because I don't think he has a catalog to do performance, but as a performing artist, he is not of the caliber. We just seen Rihanna. Does Rihanna have the catalog? We've seen the catalog on display at the Super Bowl. She has the catalog. But we all know historically Rihanna has never been a performing artist of the caliber to grant the Super Bowl stage. We just seen Rihanna's Super Bowl. Rihanna's Super Bowl performance is like all the other performances she has. She doesn't do any real choreography. She doesn't do any real dancing. Her vocal range isn't wide enough to grasp an audience. So having a catalog in the cultural cachet does not equate to a top tier performance. That's why you gotta call Kendrick. I'm gonna take a break right now and I'm gonna read through some of the comments. Appreciate everybody tapping in. This impromptu. US, you already know USA, you already know some people right there. Nicki Crash on Twitter about it. We're definitely gonna go to Nicki Crash on Twitter. Super performers have to pay up front for their show. They don't get reimbursed or paid. Didn't Jay-Z just pay off Lil Wayne's taxes, so I was only supposed to finance his show? You got, and especially that's another thing people gotta talk about. When we're doing good, when you're trying to do business with people, you gotta talk to their people and their people. If Jay-Z already know Lil Wayne's people have been bad for business to the point where he had to pay Lil Wayne's taxes or help him in certain financial situations, why am I going to again call you and make you come out of pocket for a show when I know your label, your people that support you, they're not gonna come out of pocket? So why am I gonna put my homie at a deficit and then have him get criticized for performance just to give him a look? So if you really look at it, maybe Jay-Z might be protecting Lil Wayne's legacy by not having him do the Super Bowl halftime performance. Like, look at it like on a Barry Sanders level. I'd rather people say what could have been than see what actually happened and see you crash out. Gonna keep reading comments. Don't talk about the white man without putting respect on my name. Hey, Sit Politic beat me in fantasy football. Fuck you. He won the league last year, and this reason. See, we got one white man in my fantasy football league, right? And he won the league last year, only white man in fantasy league, but it's because not only did he have a great roster and he knows how to draft and put people in positions on certain weeks, niggas was taking other niggas down during the playoffs in that final run. So what you see in my fantasy football league was a microcosm of niggas, man. Niggas were so busy making sure that another nigga wouldn't win that the white man won the whole league, man. And that's probably one of the funniest shits that happened in fantasy football history for me. Seeing like the lone white man take out 9 niggas to get to the top, man. So salute to Sit Politic. I tried to take him out this week, but I didn't. But the flip side of that is because I lost, I'm gonna be the first thing to waiver wire. So I'm definitely gonna get my team back right. So just gonna read a few comments real quick. Boom, boom. Hello, what's up, Miss Sweet Talks? How you doing? How are you doing today? Yeah, one white man won at USN, man. He did it, and I couldn't take him out yesterday, dog. This white man's a problem, dog. This white man a real problem in the league. If he go back to back, I'm calling racism, nigga. I'm throwing out the black card if this nigga go back to back, dog. I'm tired, dog. So let's get back to this Wayne shit, man. So, and I ain't down playing championship. You won this shit. But I'm telling you, niggas was definitely sniping niggas, releasing half their roster. Niggas was wilding. But back to this Wayne situation, man. Nicki crashing out, but it's like Nicki Minaj, you crashing out is the exact fucking reason why Lil Wayne isn't performing. You know why Lil Wayne is performing the halftime show? Let's be honest. It's not Wayne's fault. It's his camp's fault. Birdman, you didn't take care of Wayne after he came out of jail, and the Carter 5 dropped, 4 years too late. Put him in a hole where Jay-Z had to pay his taxes. Strike 1. Strike 2. Nicki Minaj, you kick Roc Nation and Jay-Z's back in on the regular. So why would me, if I'm Jay-Z, if I have trust me, I'm a hater. I'm a elite hater. I don't get up in the morning unless I have enough to hate on. And one of the most dangerous haters is a light-skinned hater. LL Cool J, he told you on I think it was a Charlamagne interview. He's LL, the GOAT. He's still hating on niggas. Star, my mentor, a GOAT, still hating on niggas. Jay-Z, he won. He will still hate on. Don't ever beef with a light-skinned nigga who's winning. They're going to kick your back in every opportunity, even if you're losing. So Hov, he's like, okay, I got you a halftime show. Nicki Minaj is kicking my back in. So yeah, I may want to call Lil Wayne to do a show. And think about this in your real life. There's a lot of people in your real life you may want to help, but the people that are going to benefit, that are in proximity to the person you want to help, isn't even worth helping the person who really needs it. Yes or no? So he's looking out like this. Yeah, I want to call Wayne and do the Super Bowl halftime show, but if I call Wayne, then he's going to call Nicki. And I don't like Nicki. I'm not a fan of Nicki. She kicks my back in. My wife threw her the alley-oop. She was unappreciative of that. So why would I want to associate? And on top of the fact, Nicki Minaj is also hindering my Meg Thee Stallion bag because she's beefing with Meg. And Beyonce has went from Nicki to Meg now. So why would I want to throw Nicki Minaj a bone from proximity Lil Wayne? That's strike 2. Strike 3, which might be the death blow. You know who probably could have did the Super Bowl halftime performance this year if he didn't crash out? Aubrey Drake Graham. If Drake wouldn't have crashed out, he has enough leverage, and you got to understand it's not just a Jay-Z move. Apple Music has, remember we used to have the Pepsi Smash halftime show back in the day. That was Pepsi choosing the artists that they were going to pay for, that they were going to put up for the halftime show. Now that slot has been bought by who? Apple Music. Now look at it like this. Apple Music was the same people who was competing with Tidal, competing with Spotify. Tidal was an artist-driven platform where we used to give, where a Tidal was, okay, I'm Jay-Z, I'm giving all these artists 1% equity of Tidal. You know who is supposed to be on that same board with him? Ye, Beyonce, Maroon 5, Madonna, and all those people who would have shifted the pendulum to Tidal? Drake. Now let's go back in time. What did Drake do during that Jay-Z title launch? He exclusively sold his album, if you're not reading this too late, and a lot of his music rights and music business endeavors to Apple Music exclusively. So he undermined Jay-Z and didn't do business with Hov, and he took his business to Apple Music, right? So Apple Music and Drake have a track record of doing business. So I would think that Apple Music would definitely call up the artists who helped extend their lead in the streaming platform equity space when it was Spotify, Apple Music, and Tidal. Tidal was pushed as, this is the artist platform. We have black faces behind it, even though we have white employees, but we're gonna push this perception of Tidal. Spotify was just like, hey, this is more of a listener-friendly platform. You know, we got playlists, we got curated things, and Apple Music was just the tech giant. Drake goes with Spotify, Spotify goes like this. Spotify probably shoots past Apple and Tidal. If Drake goes with Tidal, Tidal shoots past, at this time, 2015, 2016, Tidal would have shot past all those other guys. When Drake got Apple Music shot up with Drake. They gave him his radio show, they gave him a bunch of shit. But what I'm saying is this, they had enough leverage if Drake didn't crash out the way he did when the halftime performance conversation came and Hov was like, I don't want Drake. Apple Music would have been like, we want Drake. Not only do we want him, we have a track record and proof of concept where we have done great business with Drake. And because we bought this halftime show, our opinion may, and our pockets will definitely usurp Jay-Z's opinion. Because when we talk about the halftime show, Jay-Z didn't want 50 Cent, right? If Jay-Z has all this power, and you think Jay-Z's denying people's roles, he didn't have enough power to block a guest performer from the headline nigga at the halftime show. So if Hov ain't got enough power to stop a guest from coming, why do you think he would have had enough power to stop Drake if Drake didn't crash out? Now, when Drake crashed out with the beef, you go head to head with Kendrick and you lose, Apple Music's not going to call Drake to do it. Not only is not going to call Drake because you crashed out, Kendrick Lamar is popular. Nobody would have thought about this time last year, even if you take it back to last year during Super Bowl, nobody was thinking about Kendrick Lamar doing anything Super Bowl related halftime. Now I'm going to pause this and I'm going to read some comments because I love the fact that you guys are so interactive in the comments. And when I do have these live streams and talk, I'm talking with you guys. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking at you. We're having a conversation. And I really appreciate you guys commenting. So I'm going to just stop real quick and start reading a few comments. Saying Politic, Kendrick is a huge Wayne fan. I know you remember C4. He did a whole Wayne appreciation tape. Yo, I swear to God, I think Kendrick wants to bring out Wayne. I'm pretty sure, politics aside, Wayne's I'm going to Super Bowl New Orleans. I'm calling Wayne. That's what Kendrick's mind is. Like, I'm calling Wayne. And Wayne is probably like, I would love to do it, but guess what? We have a biracial Boosie boy who's putting a kibosh on all these niggas' businesses because he couldn't just sit the fuck down and relax. Okay, true. Will Eminem ever do a halftime? Share your thought. I think Eminem should have did it in Detroit in 06. I wouldn't mind seeing an Eminem Super Bowl halftime performance. I think Eminem has enough hits for a 20-minute set. I wouldn't mind at all. And because Eminem's one of those real whites, he gonna bring his niggas out. He gonna bring out them niggas. He might bring out V's. Eminem ain't going up there and bringing out Morgan Wallen, bro. Eminem ain't going up there and bringing out goddamn Maroon 5, nigga. He going up there and bringing them niggas with him. It's Eminem. Like, say what you want, but every time we act, Eminem has a crazy past, but the new Eminem, I won't even say the new Eminem, just the Eminem that I've known for the last, 15 years, he's always still on the right side of history. So I wouldn't have a mind with Eminem doing it at all. I think he will be awesome for it. Guarantee he still has Wayne come out. Only way he doesn't happen is Wayne doesn't agree because Drake's situation, or be something more behind the scenes. That's what I was saying. I do think that Wayne should come on stage with Drake, and I think that should really squash the beef. Like, the beef should be over when Wayne comes out with Kendrick Lamar at Super Bowl. That should just squash all the problems, all the beef, because at the end of the day, that was my issue with Drake in the beef. You're going to force people to pick sides that shouldn't be picking sides. So it's fucking nuts. Once Kendrick saw it in New Orleans, I bet he already thinking waiting for his fallout. Exactly, bro. Apple Music definitely wants to push their artists. Thank you, Miss Sweet Talk. They're going to push their artists. They want to put Drake up there, but if they can't get Drake because Drake has cost his own self, who's next up? I'm calling Kendrick. I'm like, hey, yo, Kendrick, can we do this halftime show? I know, we put the back behind Drake, but Kendrick is the next up nigga. That's false. HLB, just let me know what's false so we can get into it a little bit. It would be agreeable or common sense to have Kendrick headline and finance the performance and bring Lil Wayne and Match P out. This way, both get the look and K-Dot cements his legacy. That be my problem with niggas and announcements. It's like they announce Kendrick. Why don't everybody just sit back and wait to see who Kendrick is gonna pull out and who's gonna do it with him, man? Like, why are we always trying to jump conclusions? We don't know. Kendrick and Top might be on the phone with Mac Main. They might be on the phone with Master P. They might be talking to Juvie. Like, we might get back that ass up going into They Not Like Us. You can have a band. You can have a black marching band doing I've grew up in the South. I've been to HBCUs. I've been to motherfucking band performances. It's very easy to have a band transition into Back That Ass Up to Not Like Us. You know what I'm saying? It's easy. Where y'all been, my nigga? Hope everything. Hey, Chris. Hey, man. Like I said, bro, I've been traveling. J Doug, I think he's shooting a show at his crib, because he's a dad, so there's not a lot of time he can when we first started podding. It was very easy for us to do it because I'm single with no kids, he's single with no kids. It's just like when you're young, you can just fucking do a bunch of work. But the older you get, people get families, people get kids, people get more responsibilities, and it's harder for two people to always be synced in. So J Doug is doing what's best for him, and he's going and shooting his show in the crib because he's a family man. So he's doing what's best for him, and I support that. Me, I'm traveling. I'm in fucking Vegas right now. So how the fuck me and him about to do a show and we are not even on the same coast? So salute J Doug. You support his platform. On point with J Doug, go to his YouTube. But we just gotta do our own thing, and we're gonna always work together. But it's like our lives are just taking us on opposite directions at this point. So salute J Doug. I hope he's in here. Ho's been like this since the beginning. It's no surprise. Exactly. Drake, honestly, is corporate friendly. Watch next year. They have Taylor Swift. They give it so much camera time as already is. Miami, Florida, we here. Salute Miami, Florida building. D12. Yep. Dot will bring Weezy and then Drake dead to beef there. That'd be dope. Peace. Mofax. Hey, Mofax. Salute Mofax. Go to his platform. They just did their 100th episode. So salute Mofax. Go to his YouTube. I'm talking one of the most highly intelligent conversations you're gonna find on YouTube when it talks about politics, geopolitical topics, anything you want to really just have some brain food on. Go to Mofax platform. Him and Adam Curry. Them niggas always be cooking. They got their 100th, and I think it was their final episode. So please go and watch their catalog. Niggas is dope. That's fact. The sit in politics, that's fact actually, because the main criticism of the beef was the negativity. But if they flip it into a celebration, the biggest moment. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. I really think that Drake, if he's smart, Drake ain't coming out because we're definitely getting Not Like Us. I need to hear A minor during Super Bowl. I'm sorry. I'm a Drake fan, but I'm a Drake hater. So about to go back to the situation with the halftime show. Okay, so everybody's talking about, oh, why is Kendrick? We don't want to hear pro-black music. We want to hear this. Like I said before, Kendrick is a great performer. He's the most relevant rapper right now. I think this was so smart because everybody was waiting on him to drop an album. You had niggas, we're gonna get Akademiks too. We had niggas like Akademiks saying, oh, I'm so connected to hip hop, I'm gonna know Kendrick's next move, and I'm gonna be the nigga who spoils his next move. Ooh, round two. Oh, it's round two. Drake says round two. Not only did he not get the drop on Kendrick, and Ak found out with everybody else, Kendrick Lamar was taking shots during the whole thing. He was basically using lines through the beef in the commercial. If you didn't peep. Now, if I had my laptop, if the Wi-Fi was working right now, then I'll be able to pull some things up and go through it verbatim. But I'm just not able to do that right now. But the album rollout is the Super Bowl halftime show. He's either going to release the album right before, during, or right after. But this is, honestly, he has took this beef to the next level. I've never seen a nigga open up with the hottest song of the year, with a feature on the biggest hip-hop album of the year, then bait the biggest rapper at the time into a beef, get him to crash out, then you drop 4 songs in a week, wash him, Then you expose a nigga, drop a video. No, before the video, you do a pop out that was crazy. And then you drop a video that was crazy. Still haven't gave us an album. And then you're stretching this run until next year. If you think about Like That drop March 22nd. The Super Bowl is like February 9th. He's going to go on an 11-month run right now with no album, just giving Drake a swirly for 11 months. This is crazy, dog. This is crazy. And if I'm Wayne, I'm reading Black Man. What do you say? Wayne called Drake a sacrificial lamb in a Teddy Graham. He rocked with Nicki more than Drake, and Drake disrespected Nicki. Yeah, and I think real shit, like Nicki especially, I feel like if it's who's riding with Weezy more between Drake and Nicki, I'm definitely gonna say Nicki, because Nicki didn't fuck Drake. Nicki didn't fuck Wayne's girl when he was in prison. Nicki has always, anytime she wins anything, she's always like, yo, I'm giving all the respect and the love to Weezy F Baby. Won't be here without Weezy F Baby. When Drake does it, it sounds like he's like apologizer. He's just trying to clean it up. It don't really seem that genuine. You know what I'm saying? Like, but just to get back on the topic real quick, when it comes to like the Akademiks or a lot of these guys who are trying to, or even Cameron and Mace. Let's get down to Cameron and Mace, right? Fuck Cameron and fuck Mace, because these niggas had on OVO jackets. These niggas are now, because Jay-Z kicked they back in, now it's, oh, Hove's been a hater. Okay, Mace, let's talk about you and Hove's relationship. Hove has really been kicking your back end since Imaginary Players. Hove's been kicking your back end since Volume 1. Real hip-hop heads know. Like, nigga, that's why he said, nigga, you always the two. You remember the, what video was that? More Money, More Problems. Diddy had on the 1 and Mace had on the 2. Mace and Hove, it was never a battle. Jay-Z always took Mace's lunch. Let's talk about that. Cameron and Hove. Now, I will say, I feel like Cameron lyrically won the battle against Hove until real New York niggas know that killer in the chat. I'm gonna bring it up. What happened when Jim Jones and Cameron got jumped in Harlem by some Brooklyn niggas, and Jay-Z came out and remixed Ballin' with Brooklyn and was speaking on how Jim Jones got packed out in his own hood and got just sold by Harlem niggas and had to start claiming Bronx. And this nigga Cameron was doing full leaps over the fucking over the gate, trying to run away from niggas. Wolf, all them niggas was in it. And even though it was a Bad Boy, even though it was like Wolf and them niggas from Bad Boy who participated in jumping, Cam and Mason on niggas, but Hove still, profit off it. So what I'm saying is, these niggas always had beef with Hove. They literally were dick riding Drake. Drake fucking lost his goddamn shit. And now these two niggas is just really salty grapes, bro. You got two old niggas. I don't want to know their opinion on what they think should be Super Bowl halftime performance. Because even with Cameron, you got cooked on verses. You were sitting in like a beach chair while the locks were kicking your back in. So personally, I don't want to hear shit when it comes to a performance opinion from a nigga like Cameron, who just dismantled the Dipset aura in one night. You know what I'm saying? The Rucker Brawl. See, that's what I'm saying. Hey, yo, I'm from Florida, but I be knowing what time it is. USN, that was Junior Mafia that turned up on him. Exactly, dog. Niggas know what time it is, bro. Jimmy jumped the fence. Exactly. I don't want to hear nothing from goddamn Cameron when niggas came in your hood and put hands and feet on you. Niggas came in your hood and put hands and feet on you. What do you want us to do? So I don't want to hear their opinion. I don't want to hear Akademiks. Now Akademiks wants to talk about, what regional hip hop is and what it means about having this performer. It's like, no, you dick ride Drake. He didn't pop from his region of Canada, and he's a colonizer. He's not even from America. So stop trying to do this psyop. So now you want to be on the hip hop head side. You want to talk about the purity of tradition. You know what I'm saying? Like, Akademiks, you're wrong. You're on the wrong side of history again. On top of the fact that you're on the wrong side of history again, you say so much stupid ass shit that you have to backtrack from that invalidates who you are. You were saying for like a week that you are the number one media nigga in the hip hop space because of the drops and the news you get, only to find out that niggas, you didn't get it. Niggas already knew. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you didn't know anything that nobody else didn't know. You got the news like everybody else. And he was preaching this, round two shit, right? You told us, Drake told you round two, Drake posted round two, and you, Akademiks, have been on there's going to be a round two run for the last 3-4 weeks, right? Then Kendrick comes out yesterday and say, nigga, there's only one opportunity to win championships. Ain't no round twos. And then Akademiks comes on his platform yesterday and wants to clean up. I never said it was a round two. Like Kendrick was gonna come out and or Drake was gonna come out and continue the beef. Yes, you did. What the fuck is a round two then? A round two isn't okay. You're going back to make music. That's not a round two. So not only did Ak once again jump out the window for Drake, just have power in his face to come back to his own audience and basically get put power in his face for being wrong again. Just like what USN said, we're about to have OVO Baby Mama Mal come out here and crash out in a few hours. They're gonna post the Rory Mal show. They're gonna post their newest YouTube, and guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna have OVO Mal crashing out for Drake. But it's funny, is he gonna crash out for Drake knowing that he is Jay-Z's pre-cum, knowing that he's Big's brother or some shit? So is he gonna go against Rockefeller, or is he gonna, shut the fuck up? I think the best thing Maul should do is shut the fuck up. But because Maul doesn't know how to have engaging conversations without trolling and crashing out, I believe he's gonna crash out. So that's what it's gonna be with Maul. So it's been about 30 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and sign out. If we have any more topics or anything else to discuss, just let me know. I think I've discussed this pretty much ad nauseum. Like I said before, I'm happy that Kendrick Lamar is doing Super Bowl halftime performance. I'm happy we can kick Drake's back in again. I'm so happy all the Drake stands and the OVO dick riders are all in a tizzy. They're all pissed. They're crying. They're screaming. They're like, oh my God, it's more Kendrick. Yes, it's more Kendrick. That 100 gigs didn't do shit. SOD hasn't dropped. That goddamn, what's the song called? No Face, which is cool. It's not hitting the same. Drake is cooked. Drake is cooked. All I need for Drake to do is drop an R&B album, Party Next Door, and then maybe you'll have some, you know what I'm saying, some leeway. You'll have a rebirth, but you can't out rap your way back to being cool. And another thing, we gotta stop. I might extend this. Can we stop disrespecting Ja Rule? Because Drake has now getting beat worse than Ja Rule got beat by 50. Let's put some respect on Ja Rule's name, okay? Ja Rule didn't get his ass whooped like this. On top of the fact, Ja Rule's whole label was under legal turmoil, so he really couldn't fight back against 50 Cent in the machine of Dr. Dre, Interscope, and Eminem. So Drake, on the other hand, has all the powers of his disposal and still getting cooked. So we gotta put some respect on Ja Rule's name and stop saying that Drake's getting Ja Rule, because Drake's getting Drake. Okay, that's what's happening right now. And like, that's what's up. All of a sudden, up north niggas rock with Drizzy Drake. When did this happen? That's what I need. A USN, Killer. Can y'all please tap in and let me know what happened between Funk Flex calling this nigga a sandal wearing clown, all these New York niggas telling us Drake is in hip hop, and then all of a sudden all these New York niggas is riding with Drake. What happened? What happened, bro? What happened? I love New York, but New York shouldn't fall on the wrong side of history when it comes to hip hop in these conversations. Y'all were the first ones. When Drake came out, the only niggas in hip hop that was trying to warn us about Drake not being hip hop were New York niggas, were the MCs, were the purists, the niggas that were like Drake. You can't read off a Palm Pilot freestyling with Flex. That's against hip hop. That's what New York told us. New York niggas told us you can't be singing and crooning about women and saying you hip hop. That's what New York told us. New York was the only nigga standing tall on that fuck Drake shit. You don't even see a bunch of New York niggas with Drake features because of that. So when did the disconnect? Drake brought out Dipset and was wearing Cam's pink coat? Like, when was it? The only nigga that I feel like can, I guess, shit on that nigga It's Hov. And Hov is the only, as much y'all shit on Hov, Hov is the only New York nigga that, yeah, he has features with Drake. But recently, he's kind of been backing away. He was like the only nigga co-signed Drake. All you New York niggas was hating on Drake. And when Jay-Z slowly backed away, he's like, all you New York niggas clamored on him. And I don't understand, because y'all the niggas who told us he wasn't real. So I don't know. I've been a Drake hater since from day one. Other niggas got a couple of custom-made jackets and started acting different. Thank you, USN. That's all I'm saying, bro. Like, the niggas who hate Drake don't hate Drake for what he is or his music. We're just hip-hop purists, and we're saying, hey, don't be putting him in the same category we put niggas who have cooked him in battles. Like, oh, yeah, he's bigger than Push, he's bigger than Jeezy, he's bigger than these niggas. It's like, bro, yeah, Drake has bigger songs. He has bigger records. But it's not rap. It's not hip-hop. Even his rap and his hip-hop songs, they're dope. But that's not what he's being celebrated for, okay? And OB, money talks. If he's paid these niggas off for certain opinions, then we got to look at that as being another problem why New York media and New York hip-hop in a microcosm has stayed stagnant. Because you cannot pay for integrity, bro. Like, when we look at New York niggas, the reason why New York niggas was dope to everybody else, because we knew y'all stood on 10, no matter how disrespectful stand on 10 meant to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all opinions couldn't be compromised. So to see a lot of the OGs from up north co-signing this shit is a little disheartening, number one. And number two, when it comes down to this whole narrative that Akademiks is trying to run, or Cameron, some of these niggas are trying to run, is like, y'all are trying to say, oh, they're disrespecting the South by having Kendrick perform in y'all own backyard. Like, one thing up north niggas gotta stop trying to do, and I'm telling you this from a nigga from the South, that's on the West Coast. Y'all don't understand, there's a South side, West Coast connection and a business connection, relationship on most of the levels, from the streets, the music, commerce. Y'all can't get in between the South and the West. Southwest. Y'all can't get between that. Master P, when he blew up, when he got paper, he went, to Oakland to blow up. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you come down to the South, we're not on Biggie. We appreciate Biggie, but niggas in the South ride with Tupac. If there was social media at the time, the niggas from the South was rolling with Pac. Niggas from the South, we fuck with Big. I fuck with Big. My sister fuck with Big. A lot of us fuck with the South. Fuck with New York niggas. I'm one of them. I fuck with New York. But like, there's a relationship between Southern rappers or just Southern black people and West Coast black people. There's definitely a connection. One thing people don't, P got his game from the Bay. Y'all gotta understand. Keep it a buck. We don't hear about East Coast pimps. We don't hear about New York pimps. We don't hear about tri-state area pimps. We hear about pimps where? Midwest, West Coast, the South. That's where you hear P from. That's where you hear the game coming from, the South, Midwest, and the West. Because you got to go from the South to the Midwest to the West. So the game has a pattern of a track record. You know what I'm saying? When you break down, just like outside of that, bro, you break down the culture. The lowrider, the old school culture. The old school. Box Chevys, Cadillacs, all that shit. You go from the Chronic lowriders, you go to goddamn what was Outkast's first album? I forgot what that shit called. But that whole aesthetic of like the old school cars, niggas sitting back drinking Fort, doing anything, like that's South culture. That is West Coast culture. Like Kendrick, when he raps, what do you say? Wayne's one of our biggest influences. Pac is one of our biggest influences. Like some of the biggest acts from the South. Like you look at Boosie, you look at Wayne, you look at T.I., you look at Gucci Mane, you look at all the rappers of the mid 2000s. All of them were trying to do their best impersonation of Tupac. Yes, Southern Playlist and Cadillac Music, thank you. They did their best impersonation of Pac. And whatever artistry they did it in, it was always in a Pac vacuum. That just shows you from the niggas from the South always had admiration from the West Coast. And niggas from the South never had a bad word or shit to say about the West Coast. Think about Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg's on the West Coast, right? When Death Row was crumbling and Death Row was going through what Death Row was going through, and Snoop still being a top tier artist in the 90s, where did he go to keep his career afloat? Who had the bag for Snoop to keep his career afloat. It wasn't an East Coast nigga. It was a nigga from the South, Master P, that was like, you know what, bro, we got the bag behind you. We got the records. We got the look. We're going to redefine everything. And by the time your deal is done and you leave Louisiana, you leave the South, fucking with us, South niggas, as a West Coast nigga, Snoop Dogg, you won't even be able to look back. By the time the last meal come out and we on lay low and all that shit, by the time all that shit drop, bro, your career is going to be good enough to where you're not going to need us. And that's the point. West and the South have a deep connection that goes deeper. Thank you, OB, my coworker from Detroit, and they said everyone was rolling with Pac in those days. That's what we're trying to tell y'all niggas. Like, I love East Coast, bro, but I'm from the South, so it's not really a East Coast, West Coast, Southern bias. I spent my summers in New York, bro. I was knowing New York slang and clothing line and clothing and fashion before I even hit the South. A lot of my personality is growing up in New York for the summertime. I frequent the West Coast all the time. I'm in hoods in the West Coast. Like, I've experienced all these cultures enough to tell you guys there's a balance in certain things that are past the internet, and there's certain relationships with certain cultures that won't be shown on the internet. Scarface is a perfect example. Scarface has a West Coast sound at the time and a Texas sound half the time. Thank you, Black McBain. Boom. Think about Scarface. Niggas on the West love Scarface. Scarface. Pop feature. Scarface. Ice Cube feature. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Dre signed M signed 50. That was great. The topic of discussion was Super Bowl halftime show with Kendrick Lamar being put over Wayne. Certain people who are Drake supporters are trying to agitate the South and the West Coast connection by saying that, the West Coast niggas disrespecting by performing in y'all territory. And what they fail to realize is that the South and the West, we've been had business relationship, corporate relationship, music relationship. You're never going to come from the outside of the South and the West and try to break that up. That was one of my main points. New York's all about disrespect, West and South about respect. That's another thing, and the reason why it's respect is because with the West Coast, they about gangs, right? And think about this real closely. West Coast, Cali niggas, gang violence, right? That gang culture went to the Midwest, right? But it's understandable because the Midwest and the West Coast have always been connected, right? But why do we have Bloods and Crips in New York, right? Do you know where we don't really have a lot of Bloods and Crips? Now, you have certain sectors off, but like, you don't have a bunch of Bloods and Crips running around Texas. You don't have a bunch of Bloods and Crips running around Louisiana. You don't have a bunch of Bloods and Crips running around Mississippi. You have a bunch of Bloods and Crips running around Georgia. You got a bunch of Bloods and Crips running around Florida. You have a bunch of Bloods and Crips running around South Carolina. Like, you got certain niggas who set up certain pockets. So you have certain niggas who came over and got and put a family down. They family put some hitters down. You got certain pockets, but you don't have neighborhoods. Like, in the South, you can't come around here and be like, oh, yeah, bro, this is a Crip hood now. Bro, you gonna get popped. There's no bosses in the South. And the West Coast respects that. So when it just comes down to the West and South relationship, when I think Kendrick is performing, niggas in the South, we open our doors to niggas like Kendrick in the West. Because, yeah, they're about gang violence and sometimes, or they have a gang culture. But with gang culture comes a level of respect, just like prison culture. Gang culture and respect goes hand in hand. And you cannot remove gang culture and respect once you've been assimilated to it. Prison, respect, hand in hand. The most respectful people might be ex-cons because you have to move with respect. So I say that to say, like, the West doesn't disrespect the South and the South don't disrespect the West. And Kendrick Lamar performing at Super Bowl, not only is he relevant, not only does he have hits, not only does he put on a good show, he's a thoughtful artist, he's unapologetically black, he will probably do something super black to piss off white people. What's the problem, dog? What's the problem? Y'all were mad when they used to have Katy Perry. Y'all said we should have rappers. We start getting rappers. Now you mad at the rappers that they're picking. What do y'all want? I would love to see Drake do the halftime show. I think Drake should have did it when Rihanna did it. I think Drake should have got it before The Weeknd got it. I think Drake should have got it before Bruno Mars got it. But he didn't. And that's okay. Because Nicki doesn't have Grammys. You know what I'm saying? Wayne didn't have, a lot of our favorite artists don't get the respect they're supposed to get. You know what I'm saying? So we can't sit up here and cry and be like, yo, why, damn, why is Kendrick getting it, bro? Kendrick should get it. And and sign out. Let me see. Let me read the last couple comments. Wayne isn't a great performer. I prefer his music, though. New York's all about disrespect. Wayne is not a total talent. While Kendrick would be developing a cinematic performance, Lil Wayne would be gripping a red cup and pulling up his pants from across stage, lip syncing. Exactly. I've seen Wayne live. That's what he does. Wayne also let a lot of big hits slide by, never performing them. Drop the World, intro, outro. Mr. Carter would go hard as fucking to stadium. He'd rather do Lollipop and Fireman 100 times. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, man. And, like, I love Wayne and shit, but, like, I think it would be dope if this nigga Kendrick brought out Future and Metro. I would like to see that. I would like to see them do like that. You know what I'm saying? So this was a quick little, 45-minute episode, Respect Facts podcast. You know what I'm saying? We're going to continue to do these live streams. Like I said, I've just been traveling and been busy and shit, so I don't really have time like just pop up on the live stream. But rarely I got some time. Like I could even right now be day trading like I usually do at this time, but my laptop is just not running efficiently right now with the Wi-Fi. And when you're doing stocks, you really do need Wi-Fi because you get some shit freezes up and you're trying to fucking sell or buy a share. Nigga, that's hundreds of dollars that could be lost. So I'm not gonna do that. So like I said before, salute everybody who's tapped in, man. Get likes, get shares up. We had almost like 20 people tapping in on this quick live stream. And I really do appreciate that. I'm gonna just keep going live about just certain topics throughout the day. Appreciate everybody. Respect Facts Podcast. We're still live, we're still kicking. Tap in with me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. I'm getting the Rumble up, the Kick up, the Twitch up. So we're gonna be streaming like 8 different platforms next week. I got a camera coming in for my laptop, so it'll be like an HD and shit. I'm getting the room together. So before you know it, we're going back on the road. So, appreciate everybody. Salute, you know what I'm saying? OB, Lenny Trees. Salute Lenny Trees. Hey, Lenny Trees, next time I'm out here in Vegas, bro, we got to link up, man. We definitely got to link up. Sit in politic. We definitely going to do another episode in Orlando pretty soon. And Killa, we're definitely about to hop on a live stream this week and cook up something. And I'm going to give you a phone call when I get some free time out here. So salute everybody. Love you guys. Be safe. All right. Be fulfilled. Don't do anything that you won't be proud of. And just enjoy yourselves, man. I love you guys. Have a great day, man.